Hi everyone, my name is Gina Weaver, and this is my first actual uploaded video. Hi there. I'm a little nervous showing myself on screen, but I really wanted to do a review of the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, Sponge Out of Water. And those of you who know me from school are probably going, "What? Gina girl, it took you a month and a half to see the SpongeBob movie?" Yeah, well let me tell you, February was crazy! And when that was over, I got bogged down in all this homework and art projects. Then I got sick for 2 weeks. It was a nightmare. But now I've finally gotten around to seeing it, with my boyfriend Tommy.
Hi there.
He's a little shy. So, I'm going to try to keep the spoilers minimal, but there will be opinions, so bear with me. So this movie is, of course, a sequel to the SpongeBob SquarePants movie from back in 2004. Unusually for a sequel, it doesn't have the number 2 in the title. I think it used to, but it doesn't anymore. But that's not really that important. Creator Steve Hillenburg said that the first movie was meant to be the end of the series, and all new episodes still take place before the movie. I'm not sure if this movie changes anything or not, so where this lies in canon, I have no idea. Anyway, first of all, animation buffs rejoice, because despite what the promos would have you believe, the majority of this movie is actually traditionally animated. And I love 2D animation, despite what the biases you have about my generation would lead you to think. This movie really reminds you just how much can be done in 2D, and there is a lot. It's as mind-blowing and beautiful as any classic Disney or Don Bluth film. It's just that the characters are more funny looking. But what's really amazing is when they start mixing mediums. Wow, Space Dolphin scene blew me away. I think I'm getting ahead of myself though. Okay, so Antonio Banderas plays Burger Beard the Pirate, who steals this magic book off an island. And it's already got a story in it of a day in Bikini Bottom, but he starts writing in it. So in Bikini Bottom, Plankton's trying to steal a Krabby Patty formula again. So after this epic food fight, that is like literally a mini war movie with condiments as weapons, Plankton finally gets into the vault to steal the Krabby Patty formula, but SpongeBob grabs it too. And so they're wrestling over it, and then suddenly it disappears. So Mr. Krabs is out to punish Plankton, but SpongeBob knows he's innocent, so he creates his bubble for him and Plankton to float off into safety. And the whole town turns on him because they think he's in cahoots with Plankton. And without the Krabby Patty, Bikini Bottom goes into complete post-apocalyptic chaos, 80s style. Outcast from Bikini Bottom, SpongeBob and Plankton try to figure out a way to get the formula back and prove their innocence. SpongeBob suggests teamwork. Plankton doesn't understand this TM work, and so SpongeBob sings a little song about it. They go back to Bikini Bottom to try and get SpongeBob's best friends to help, but Patrick has also become a post-apocalyptic punk, Sandy's gone crazy, more on that later, and even Gary. Well, I'm not going to give that away, that part's really funny. So Plankton and SpongeBob decide to build a time machine to get the formula back before it was stolen, and they need a supercomputer to power it. They rescue Plankton's wife, Karen, from the angry mob. It's almost romantic at this point. What happens next are epic time travel adventures with amazing special effects, reminiscent of both Doctor Who and 2001: A Space Odyssey. And of course, the Space Dolphin. Whew. You know, I think I'm going to stop here. I've given away so much already. And actually, I left out a little detail earlier that's actually pretty important. But I think I've said enough to sway you towards this film. What's great about this movie is that it's kind of like the first one in the Simpsons movie, in that it's like a feature-length episode, and that works for movies based on shows like these. And it has none of the senseless cruelty that's plagued the later episodes. Oh, I will give one more later thing away. The movie is dedicated to the memory of Ernest Borgnine, the original and long-running voice of Mermaid Man. You know, with all the major deaths since 2012, I nearly forgot about him. God bless you, Ernest. I do have one major problem with this movie, and that's the role of Sandy Cheeks. Now, in the first SpongeBob movie, she had just one line, and I think that was a pretty crappy move considering it was supposed to be the finale of the series and she's such a major character. Well, thankfully in this one she gets a larger role. She spends the first half of the movie trying this post-apocalyptic doomsday nut going on about the burger gods being angry, which was both funny and an interesting exploration into a previously unseen side of her character. But once they get out of the water, well, that's when she gets regulated to being the token girl of the team in their special lesson about teamwork. And remember all those promos focusing on the superhero part? No notice someone missing during the group shots? Yes, well, that's because she didn't become a big, muscly squirrel girl with kick-ass karate moves and powers equal to the guys. Oh, no. She's a big, creepy, realistic squirrel. That's it. Oh, and her hero name is the Rodent. Yeah. Oh, sure, she does get some butt-kicking in eventually, but not before being ridden around by Squidward. Now, Nickelodeon, I know your main goal in cartoons like these is to be funny first and profound later, but it is a really freaking bad move to take the one main female character in your long-running multi-billion-dollar franchise, one who's been shown to be very athletic, strong, and intelligent to boot, and turn her into a mere steed for one of the male characters. My other problem with the use of Sandy is, well, big sequel to the big movie. Sandy's finally in it, on the big screen, right there with SpongeBob, on the beach. Nice scenery. This would have been the perfect opportunity for even just a little taste of the one true pairing. Yes, for Spandy on the big screen. And we get nothing. Diddly squat. Nada. Zip. They gave more fodder for the Squidward and Sandy shippers. Yuck! Why, Nickelodeon, why? It's practically canon in all the show's supplemental materials. You know full well by now your viewers are not adverse to romance. You know full well by now romance in a children's film does not frighten the kiddies away. After all, it's Disney's bread and butter.
Wait a minute. First you complain she ain't kicking butt. Now you mad she didn't play tonsil hockey with SpongeBob?
Amanda, this is my video. And anyway, a girl can kick butt and still be in a relationship, you know. I think that's been proven countless times. Besides, despite last names, I think we all know who really wears the pants in their dynamic.
Yeah, but I think girls need some role models who ain't in a relationship, just to show that ain't what you really need in life.
I'm pretty sure they made like 5 of those in the past 2 years. Amanda, you know me by now. Last of the hopeless romantics, the mad shipper. If you don't like it, you can make your own cartoon movie starring a girl who doesn't care a whit about love.
Or rather, a girl who has other things on her mind before that.
Or at least lets on that she does, even though she's madly in love with...
Shut up!
Well, anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, there's one thing in the movie that might count as Spandy content. It's a song in the credits and on the soundtrack called Sandy Squirrel, sung by N.E.R.D., and it may very well be from SpongeBob's point of view. Namely because he's the only character who's ever called her Sandy Squirrel in the series, even though that was probably a mistake by the writers. And anyway, the alternative, it's a grown human man singing a love song to a squirrel. So, yeah, probably SpongeBob. But, that's all we get in the film. Oh, and the tie-in app game Sponge on the Run has SpongeBob yell, "Tell Sandy I love her" when he dies, in the game. So, I guess there is some Spandy in this after all, but it's all peripheral. Fortunately, we'll always have issue 30 of SpongeBob comics. I'm still really mad about the superhero thing, though. I mean, it's not just this film. Forgive me for getting on a soapbox here, but Nickelodeon has just been really bad with the female characters in their humorous cartoons lately. I mean, they're good with them in live-action comedies like Bella and the Bulldogs, and good in their serious cartoons like Legend of Korra. But for some reason, the funny Nicktoons just have them as very one-dimensional cookie-cutter minor characters, if they exist at all. They've been in this whole bro phase for 2 years with Sanjay and Craig and Breadwinners, and they've even begun promoting SpongeBob and Fairly OddParents on the same lines, and it's just really off-putting. Hopefully, Harvey Beaks will put an end to this trend, as one of the main characters is Fee, the little imp who's just as wild and crazy as her brother Foo and is featured equally in the promos. I don't know why, but the thing that's drawing me in most is the antics of those crazy fraternal twins. Well, anyway, as a whole, I rate the SpongeBob movie Sponge Out of Water 6 out of 10. Maybe 5.5. I mean, there's a lot of enjoyable things about it. The art, the music, it's free of the cruelty of the later seasons. But the way Sandy was written in the last third of the movie just really bogged down my enjoyment. Tommy, do you want to put in a few words?
Well, I agree with a lot of what you said. The visual effects were my favorite part. The time travel scenes were amazing. I felt like I was really going back in time with them. Of course, that could have been my hunger making me dizzy. $7 for a small popcorn? Are you kidding me?
Well, I told you should have eaten before we went in.
If they're gonna have separate ticket prices for kids, they should have separate snack prices.
Maybe in the age of helicopter parenting, they can't fathom kids coming by themselves and paying for their own stuff. Well, anyway, this has been Gina Weaver and her boyfriend Tommy, and I might just be here again to give you my views on some other stuff. Until then, goodbye!